So dealing with piecewise functions. So here's our graph, and here are our three equations that we're going to be using. So our first equation is used in blue. As you can see here, it's on our graph in blue, and it's going to be x squared minus 4. So if we go down to -4 and use the equation as if it's x squared, it goes up like that. But it's if -4 is less than or equal to x, or x is less than 0. So here's -4 less than or equal to x. We go to x, -4 on the x axis, go all the way up to 12. As you can see, it's right there. And since it's equal to -4, then you're going to have a closed circle. Now, if we continue over to 0, since 0 is right here, but x is less than 0, but not equal to, we're going to come down to 0 on our x, and we're going to go until it intersects that point. So here it is. But it's going to be a open circle because it's not equal to 0. It's only less than 0, so it doesn't exactly touch that point of the graph. Our next equation is going to be 4 minus x squared. X squared is an upside down parabola, and we have it plus 4, so it's going to go up 4. And since it's if 0 is less than or equal to x, it's going to be a closed circle, and if we go x to 0 on our x-axis, we go up to 4. It's going to be right there on that point. Now, x is less than or equal to 4. So now we're going to go to, on our x-axis, all the way to 4, and we're going to go all the way down. And right there, that's our point. And it's going to be a closed circle because it's less than or equal to 4. So there's our point. Now, our third equation is going to be x plus 4 if x is greater than 4. So x plus 4, we go up to the 4, and it go up x. Now, it's x is greater than 4, so we're going to come here on the x-axis on 4 and go all the way up to 4 where it intersects. But since it's not equal to x, or it's not equal to 4, it's going to be an open circle, and it's going to go up infinitely. So, and because our graph does not connect, there's breaks in our graph, it's not going to be continuous. So it is not continuous because there is breaks in the graphs. Now, our domain and range for this graph is going to be, so our domain is our x's. We're going to go to the smallest x, which is going to be here at the 12. So that's 4. It's going to be -4x with the bracket because it's exactly on 4. Now it's going to go on to our highest x, and our highest x goes infinitely. It continues traveling to the right forever. So it's going to be an infinity with the parenthesis because our infinities are always covered with the parenthesis. And then now for our range. So our range is our y's. So we're going to find the lowest y. And our lowest y is going to be here. And if we go all the way down, it's going to be at -12. And it's going to be a bracket because it's exactly at -12. Now we're going to go to our highest y. And our highest y goes on infinitely. So we're going to put in infinity, and it's positive because it goes up. And we're going to put a bracket around that infinity because infinities are always bracketed. Now, if we wanted to find our x at 0, we would have to figure out which equation we actually have 0 in. And since for our first equation, 0 is not being touched by this line because it's not equal to that 0. It is less than 0, it won't be this equation. And there's no 0 here. It goes past 0. So it won't be this equation. But this one touches 0 exactly. And if we were to put it in our equation, we would come out with this ordered pair, which is 0, 4. Because we inserted where the x would be, we put a 0. And we came out with 4 for the y, so it became 0, 4 for the ordered pair. And if we wanted to check that, we would go to that exact point on the graph. And here's 0, 4. So that is true. That's correct. Now, if we wanted to find 4, or x, if x equaled 4 and we wanted to find that exact point on our graph, we would do the same thing. We'd have to come up here and figure out which one it fits in. And this is -4, and it's equal to it, so that's not true. And this goes to 0, so that's not true. It never touches 4 on the x. Now this has 4 in it, but it doesn't equal 4. It doesn't ever touch 4. As you can see here, it has the open circle. Now we have 4 minus x squared. And this one does actually touch 4 because x is less than or equal to 4. So if we come down here on our x-axis and we find 4 and go all the way down, we see 12, -12. And that is true. And that's our answer. 4, -12. 4, -12.